You know, it's been semi-recently, but I wanted to talk about the Xdefiant open beta, and it was really fun when it was out. It did need some polish. I do think it does a lot of things better than its contemporaries, like being more polished than Halo Infinite, having better visibility than the newest Call of Duty, and the faction abilities are pretty balanced, and I'd say they're above average from the hero shooters I've played in the past, or just hero-based games in general. Now, on a side note, some criticism I have for the open beta is that I feel that the controller aim assist needs a little bit of work. I felt it was a little stiff at times, but it still wasn't bad, just a little bit of tweaking there would be good. And there were some visual bugs with some of the maps I played. And the first day of the beta, I don't know if I got fixed, but near the end of some of the games, I couldn't move, so I would just be sitting there while the game's going on. Now, with the open beta criticisms out of the way, and it is an open beta, so I'm not going to go hardcore at it, I do think that if Xdefiant is fully released and the quality is good and the content is decent like it's shown it will be from the people that are going to make the game, I do think it has a place in the market, especially with how unhappy the consumers have been with their favorite products like Call of Duty, like Halo, like Battlefield. We could definitely see a new game rise up and take a lot of those unhappy fans, which I, for one, hope they do. Because like I've said in my previous videos, I am a firm believer in competition in the marketplace, and if a game comes along that does the things you want it to do, and other games like Halo, like Call of Duty, like Battlefield are not willing to do because of incompetence, laziness, or just a lack of money incentive, you should be able to go to a competitor and get what you're looking for in a first-person shooter game, or just any game in general. And another thing to take note of is the fact that Xdefiant will be doing a less strict SBMM/EBMM system, unlike we see with more modern titles like Halo and Call of Duty specifically that come to mind. So I'm really interested to see how the community reacts to that. I, for one, am very happy to hear it, because above average players usually don't get to play with as many people. Like, if their more casual friend plays with them, then it's kind of punishing. I know this because I've played with people that are like way above average, and I feel like I'm in some sort of MLG tournament. It's just like, bro, I need a break. I'm just really interested to see how the market reacts to a more loose, old-school system of skill-based matchmaking. And I, for one, am kind of excited for this, because I'm a more old-school FPS skill-based matchmaking person, so I'm hoping it does well, but we'll see how it does. Also, if you don't know, Xdefiant will be free to play, so I'm really curious to see how they do monetization for the game. And I hope they don't follow trends like MWII and Halo and make you buy bundles and make you buy certain in-game currency bundles. I would like it to where you could buy a specific object in the game. Instead of having to buy a $5 bundle for a $3 item, I could just spend $3 on that item. Of course, it won't be a complete deal breaker monetization-wise if the game is basically copying Fortnite, but I would just like it if it was user-friendly and not predatory. And there are times in Halo specifically where I won't buy something because there'll be a certain helmet that I want, but the bundle's $16, and I'm not about to drop $16 for a helmet. And I don't mind bundles, I just want there to be an opportunity to buy things individually. Also, if Xdefiant decides to go down the path of the Battle Pass, I hope they copy the Halo Battle Pass system, which means they never expire, and you can buy the Season 1 Battle Pass during Season 4, because when the Battle Pass expires like they do in Call of Duty, for example, it just demotivates me to even buy the Battle Pass and go through it, because it kind of feels like the game becomes a job, and I'm always of the mindset that if it's FOMO, I'll just stop caring about it, unless it's just something I really want, but I've kind of trained myself just to stop caring. So it kind of does the opposite effect for me personally. Also, another thing about Xdefiant that I've seen from the open beta that I can appreciate is that it's taking that fast-paced, old-school Call of Duty playstyle or combat that you'd see in something like Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3. It basically goes with that instead of the more slow, campy Modern Warfare 22 style, Modern Warfare 2019. But it does put a spin on the formula, with the faction abilities playing a bigger role with a lack of kill streaks that you would see in Call of Duty. And I know Black Ops 4 specifically went down the route of a hero shooter, but I can say with Xdefiant that the faction abilities will play a bigger role than the hero abilities did in Black Ops 4, because for one, there's no kill streaks, and two, I always did feel like the Call of Duty hero abilities, for the most part, were pretty watered down and not that important. And don't get it wrong, in Xdefiant, even though the faction abilities are important, you still need good gunplay to actually do good in the game, because you're not going to win off of hero abilities alone, at least from my experience. To kind of end the video, I've made a wish list that I'd like to see Xdefiant add in the future. And I don't mean the near future, but like the distant future when the game's more established. The first thing on that list is I'd like to see some PvE modes. I think that would be dope for the game, because not everyone wants to play PvP all the time, and I know right now that'll be the main focus of the game, as it should be. But in the future, just let people have game modes where they can kind of chill, maybe kill the AI, maybe a 4-man survival thing like we saw with Modern Warfare 3. I forgot what it was called, but it was like a horde mode technically. I think adding that to Xdefiant would be interesting. Another thing that would be dope that Xdefiant could add into the future would be a map creator / custom games like Halo has. I think that would be dope, and it would help the community thrive even more. And there's never anything wrong with just letting players make their own game modes and maps that they can just mess around on. And the last thing on the wish list would be a variety of game modes, social / more PvP, like the 1v1, 2v2, 3v3 game modes that we got introduced to in Modern Warfare 3, or game modes that we've seen in Call of Duty and Halo, like Infection, Gunplay, Fiesta. I think a diversity like that would also be good for Xdefiant and help increase the appeal of the game. Thank you for watching this video. I wanted to keep the video a little loose and just kind of talk about some things that I liked, some critiques, some wishes. If you have your own thoughts and opinions on the game, let me know in the comments. And
I'm sorry, sir. It's time for you to leave.